Namaste, beautiful people. Day 21 is here. So you know what that means. You made it 21 days. If you have made it 21 days without breaking your streak, this is starting to become a habit. And for me, I personally feel it in myself because I don't know if you guys know this, but I record every single day. So that I have to force myself to do this challenge with you guys in real time as well. So I'm feeling so much greater in the realm of increasing my capacity to just move deeper into this practice, to not hesitate to do it, to just get up and start to move into it just because it's out of a habit and consistency. I thank you guys so much for staying and participating in this journey. Today we're going to be doing crow pose, doing a class on crow. So I would recommend having 2 blocks just in case. It's not mandatory, but just in case. Let's find child's pose, big toes together, knees apart. So if you think about the element of crow, child's pose is basically the same thing. The hips are pressing back, big toes are together, the arms out in front of us. We start to rock the forehead and hips side to side. And then come onto the fingertips, lifting the palms away from the floor. See if you can creep the fingertips an inch or 2 more forward without the hips coming forward. And then re-drive your head to the floor if it came up. And then re-ground the hands, the palms, if they came up. On your next inhale, pull yourself forward into tabletop. Shoulders over the wrist, hips over the knees. Spread the fingers wide. And just slowly, gently start to move the spine in a fluid manner. The head is relaxed. The spine is soft. And then bring the head and the spine back to neutral. Let's flip the hands to face the knees, or to the best of your ability, facing the knees, and just rock back and forth very gently. One of the biggest things with arm balances is taking care of the wrist. This is not a optional step. This is really a mandatory step if you want to practice with sustainability and longevity, including arm balances in your practice. You're going to need to take care of your wrist pretty much every time you step onto your mat. And then flip the hands to face inwards. So I want the middle finger to run across to the opposite knee. From here, move the knees back a few inches. And then just slowly start to bring the elbows outwards and the chest downwards. This does just as much for the chest, not the chest, the upper back and rhomboids, shoulders, as much as we're moving into the wrist. So it's kind of a multitasking pose, just slowly bringing the elbows out. Halfway, pressing through the hands, round to the upper back. One more time. Elbows go out, bringing the chest as low as it can go. And then pressing the floor away. We'll do one last wrist thing, just to counter everything we just did. Flip the hands, fingers face the knees. Try to attempt to rotate the eye of the elbow forward. And just moving back and forth. And I can just sense you containing your excitement over this amazing and exciting posture. And then release the palms back to the front of the mat. If you need to, shake them out a little bit. And then finding downward facing dog, curling the toes, pressing through strong arms. Lift the hips up to the ceiling. Maybe walking the knees back and forth, swaying hips, shaking the head. Woo! Those morning pops always get me. And taking your gaze towards your belly button, start to work through the shoulders, driving through the heels, finding breath that resembles an ocean, deep and free. On your next inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees. On your exhale, step the right foot forward, step the left foot up to meet. Inhale, lengthen, get long. Exhale, fold it deep. Inhale, reverse swan dive, bring the palms together. Exhale, hands down to the heart. Let the hands fall by the sides, top of the mat, feet together. Squeeze the inner thighs, and then pull the elbows. So we're gonna do an upward, upright Tadasana Chaturanga. So I want you to squeeze the elbows to the midline. From here, allow the palms to be flexed here, almost like the feet flex. Can you flex the hands? So that they're pulling back towards you, and then just slide them down until the palms are in line with your elbows. Keep on pulling in. Now could you lengthen through the crown of the head and imagine pushing away, but also pulling in at the same time. We're here for 3. Keep on pulling everything in for 2. And then 1, reaching through cactus elbows, sweep the arms up, inhale. Exhale, cactus again. Inhale, re-straighten. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen, bend the knees here. Push the heart forward, keep your hands connected. Exhale, hands to the mat. Lower down, round to the upper back. Halfway, hug the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Feel the belly button come forward. Draw the shoulder blades together. And then rolling over the toes, downward facing dog. Listening to an equanimous breath. On your next inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, look forward. And then exhale, step, walk, or jump. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, bring the palms together. Exhale, hands down to the heart. Hands fall by the sides. Chair pose, drop the hips back, sweep the arms up. Take an inhale. Then exhale, think about a skier. Hands by the sides. Lift, lean forward, lift the heels away from the ground, but attempt to drop the butt a little bit deeper. Now from here, drive to your heels. Extend your arms straight out in front of you. We're here for 3. Here for 2. 1, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step it back. Jump it back. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Plant the left heel flat at a 45-degree angle. And then step your right foot forward. If it gets stuck on the journey there, use your hand to help it. Inhale, warrior 1, sweep it high. Draw the frontal rib cage in. See if you can bend deeper into that right knee. Take an inhale. Exhale, hands to mat. Vinyasa if you want it, skip it if you don't. Plant the right heel flat at a 45-degree angle. Step, left foot forward. Driving through a powerful left leg. Bring it high. Try to press into the outer edge of that right foot a little bit more while pulling the right hip forward. Hold 3, 2, 1. Hands to mat. Step it back. Left foot meets the right. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then look to the front of the mat. Step the right foot outside of your right hand. Step the left foot outside of your left hand. and we're coming into malasana. So yogic squat. Dropping the hips deep. Press your triceps into the tops of the knees if possible. If the heels can't come to the floor, go a little bit wider or place a blanket underneath your heels for support. Hands now to the heart. Press your knees a little bit wider. Pull the heart up and then reach your arms out in front of you from hands at heart. Just reach them out. Think about chaturanga arms. Still pulling the elbows in. Press your knees into your triceps. This is basically crow pose right here already. From here, let the hands fall to the floor. Slowly start to lean forward, but not with the intent to lift. Just pull everything in. The belly button to the back of the body, round to the upper back. Think about chin towards the chest. Now start to lift the heels. Hold 3, 2, 1. Softly bring it back into malasana. So I'm going to show the modification for crow pose because we're about to get into crow pose. If you need to get out of squat, because squat just is terrible. It feels not so good. You can either stay there or you can get out of it. But as you watch me, I want you to notice, I'm going to use blocks first. You don't have to use blocks. We're going to take one block on the biggest height in front of us, and then I'm going to show you how to enter using a block for crow. So we want the palms pretty much to the outside, maybe a little bit more to the inside of the mat, but the arms are never really wider than shoulder width distance or more narrow than shoulder width distance. We're going to step both feet onto the blocks here. Already bringing your knees to your triceps. Make sure your block is in a reachable distance for your head to rest on. So we're going to start to press the knees into the triceps and the triceps into the knees. Start to lean forward, lift the hips, round to the upper back, and then pressing through the forehead. See if you can lift one foot. The forehead is transferring its weight into the block, and then see if you can lift the other. Now from here, you'll slowly start to get lighter with the head. See if you can look a little bit more forward, still rounding to the upper back. If you need to stay at this step of pressing the forehead into the block and just lifting one at a time, lift one at a time. We'll play with this for about 30 more seconds. Woo. And if you want to do this without the blocks, it's the same process, just no blocks here. Knees to triceps, leaning forward, chaturanga elbows, pull in, big toes together. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and then 1. Back to malasana. And then reaching, scooping forward, bring it back into plank. Drop the knees, arch to the back, chin and chest to the mat. Inhale through cobra, lift the heart. And then exhale, drop the head, and drop the chin, arms off to the side like a T. From here, look to your right. Actually, look to your left. Bend your left elbow, bend your left knee. Then attempt to flip the left foot over. Left hand can go to the lower back if you want a little more. If this is too much, the sole of the foot pressing into the floor, left knee facing up, you just allow the knee to rest. Or extend back with a bent knee. Instead of foot to the ground, side of the foot to the floor. Let's go for the other side. Extending left arm out. Bend right elbow, bend right knee, flip it over. Y'all, we don't have to have a perfect practice to show up. Your crow does not have to be perfect for it to be valid. It's like wine. It gets better with time, guys. Here for 3, 2, 1. Bring it back to neutral. Take your hands underneath the shoulders. Press your hips back into child's pose. Just letting go of anything that is no longer serving you. That story that you keep on telling yourself that is no longer true, or maybe it never was. And we start to actually look at the truth in our real book. Is that you are loved, you are supported, you are enough. May that be one of the most consistent stories that we tell ourselves. Come forward into table. Walk your knees up to your wrists. Cross your ankles. Sit back onto the glutes and release the legs forward. From here, hands go forward. Walk them forward as much as you can, dropping the head. We're not here for long. Slowly roll it back up. Take your hands behind you, either reverse plank, straight legs, or reverse table. Press through your feet, lifting through the hips. Drop the head back. We're here for 3. We're here for 2. And then 1, softly release the butt. Extend the legs straight and roll the spine all the way to the mat. Setting up for supine twist. Bring the knees over the hips. Arms off to the side like a T. Dropping knees to the right as you look to your left. Inhale, bring it back to center. Scoot the hips a few inches to the right, and then dropping the knees over to the left. On your next inhale, bring it to center. And then draw the knees into the chest, wrapping the forearms around the knees, forehead to the knees. Take a deep inhale. And an exhale to release for Shavasana. Giving weight to the ground. Your presence matters. Your existence matters. Relaxing everything from head to toe. Just melting. I'll let you guys lay here as long as you need to take. I thank you guys so much for participating in this beautiful practice that has literally changed my life. I hope that it changes yours as well. Once again, thank you. Namaste.